Just okay, now we are ready to go. So good morning, everyone. I'm Philip, and I'm gonna lead this 6 a.m. meeting, Brazilian time. We're gonna talk about advice. I have some questions so we can discuss, and more important than that, we are not here to correct. We're not here to teach. We're here just to talk and talk. So let's see how it goes. We ask for personal presentations every single time. It's a good chance for you to develop your vocabulary and some self-awareness. So Bru, can you start just to be the one to do it first?
So, hello everyone. I'm Bruna. I live in Brasilia. I work in public service. In the last meeting, in the last immersion, I said that I had a party this weekend, but I didn't go because I'm learning to say no for something. I think it's very important. I say no for that something that I don't make sense to me. I think it's today my advice that learning to say no. That's it.
Very good, Bruna. Thank you so much. Gabriel, how about you? Present yourself.
Hello there, good morning. My name is Gabriel. I am 30 years old and I am a software engineer. I have 10 years in this field and I'm here because I need to improve in my English for get a new job. And I'm here in TALKNTALK around 6 months. So I live in São Paulo, Brazil. In my free times, I like reading books and watching certain movies. I like it for learning English too. In the others things.
Very good, Gabriel. Good to meet you. I guess it's the first time we talk, isn't it?
My first time in here?
No, with me.
With you? No, the second time.
Second.
Yeah, the last Monday I am here. I was here too.
But you were with your camera closed, weren't you? Or no? Your camera was closed the last time, or?
No. The office closed.
So I was sleepy because I don't remember. Sorry. Usually I remember. Yeah. Pedro, long time no see. Welcome back. How are you?
Long time no see.
Yeah.
I'm well, pretty well. It's a pleasure to be here. And it's a pleasure to know you all. So I'm Pedro Coutinho, I'm 28, I'm a production engineer. And now I'm living in Sorocaba, I just moved. So I'm working a lot, so because that, this last day I was missing the class, but now I will return and I'm trying to make a new routine. That is wake up early and try to study in the morning because I think I can focus more than in the night because I'm a little tired when I arrived and I get a lot of things to do and sometimes I don't focus that in the thing that I need. So I will try that, and today my first morning class and I hope I will maintain it. So it's a pleasure to be here with you.
Yeah, my pleasure to have all of you here. It's not easy to wake up early in the morning. And I do the 6 a.m. meetings to have a chance to wake up early in the morning to commit myself to other people. So I know that Bruna and other people, they usually arrive in here at this time. So it makes me to wonder, why not? So let's do it. And then I'm here from Monday to Friday. So we are going to talk about advice, and I try not to follow the questions we have, and I usually change them right away. And my very first question is, what's the advice you can give to yourself right now at 6 a.m. in the morning? Any advice ever? Anyone? Just go ahead. Like Monday morning, the beginning of the week, which advice would you give? would you give yourself?
This is a hard one.
Yeah.
I will try first. Okay. I'm a happy person, so I will say that in the morning, I'm more lively than ever. So I can say that enjoy your day. So be happy because your day can be good.
Very good. Very good. That's a good one. That's a good one. Who else? Just an advice.
For me is do what are you having in your to-do list, in my to-do list today, because I have a lot of things to do. And sometimes I'm sabotaging myself. And today I want to do my to-do list. All things that I have in my to-do list.
Very good. When do you prepare your to-do list? Like the day before you like after you wake up?
And the day before, because yesterday I prepared my to-do list for today, but sometimes I want to, for example, about the immersions here in TALKNTALK, I prepare my to-do list and all weekend. But the other things I put in the last night.
That night. Great. Very good one. I'm not into to-do lists, like written ones, but I use my Google Calendar and I prepare. I have like some tasks that I really need to do, and I'm just adding things to that list. But usually the day before, I try to understand what I need to do the day after. And so I check in my mind, like just I picture, the things I should do a to-do list as well. Gabriel, and what about you? Which advice would you give yourself early in the morning today?
The main advice, then I like the looking for the maintain and like the discipline and consistency for making new things and new learners, such as my English speech or I go for can choose new things for to learn always, and it's so important for my mind. And I like choose it and maintain the consistency. The main topic around it, it's maintain the consistency and discipline in my routine. It's so important. It is not I don't say it don't like make it fast and yeah, make the consistency. It is most important.
I would definitely say that consistency is the key to achieve anything. It's for real. My advice for this morning would be exercise your body so your mental can follow you. Yeah. So I have been exercising myself, and this morning I woke up a little bit tired, and then I decided to do some pull-ups.
Mm-hmm.
And then it changed my mood. Very good, very good. So I'm gonna choose another question here just to have something before we go to a different place. Do you have someone that you ask for advice, like a friend, a family member, like someone on internet, like influencer, or I don't know? Do you have any person that you ask for advice, not just clearly asking for advice, but also you pay attention and those advices the person says, it gets you somehow. So do you have anyone like that, Pedro?
Not so specific. So there are people that I follow that I think in specific areas they are good. So for example, Instagram, I follow people that I like, for example, financial investment stocks. So I follow people that like and teach about it. So it's a way to get advice against instead asking advice. So it's like that. So like you said, I need to return to exercise, to work out. So I follow people that do that and how they do that. So I watch them doing and I try do the same, but I don't asking for advice. I think ask literally is all to my mind.
Great, very nice. Yeah, it's also it's really important, in my opinion, to have people to inspire us.
I think, yeah, because you can see the idea. Because when you want to do is something, but when we see someone done this, you say, oh, this is possible. So how you did that, and you try the same path.
Yeah, you're teaching by the example, not just by your
Yeah,
voice or your message, right?
totally.
Yeah. Gabriel, do you have anyone that inspires you, that gives you advice, that you ask for advice?
In my case, I can follow a lot of influence in social medias, but there is one influence that I like more. The name is Fabio Paquera, the software.
Yeah.
He is software developer, and he say always, do it or not. There is no right. I like this sentence.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah, I do not follow that many IT people anymore. I'm more into marketing nowadays. He's a good guy. And you, Bruna?
Well, nowadays, I think it's easier to to follow anybody, somebody, like Pedro said about in the social media. I don't have it specific people to ask some advice, but I like to know about her than 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 inspiration, maybe like about the investment stocks, the workout and specific that I like too much. And that's it. I think I don't have a specific advice people share for me, a specific advice, but I like to follow maybe important person, like about, for example, investment. I like to advise Thiago Negro, Nachakuri. I think it's very important for me. It's helped me a lot to save money.
Yeah. I like to say that it doesn't matter who is giving you advice somehow, because it's like, I know I follow some people that there are other people, they don't like them, because of the way people speak. And I know Thiago Negro and Natalia Arcuri, they have a lot of haters on the internet, I enjoy following them. Not that much anymore, but I used to follow them a lot. Watched Thiago Negro's presentation once. He does a really good job. And I think it's more about how we connect to other people and how they make us grow, to develop ourselves. And if we are getting better, we are doing things for good, then it's always good, very good.
If you ask, if you let me add something, I think people aren't the only way to get advice. I think, for example, books are very good for you too. So I like to read, and when you find a book that has the context that you like, so like you said about financial investments, there are good books about that from people that we even didn't know. So I think books are a good one to get some advice to.
Yeah, exactly. Books, they are like teachers, you know. I also like movies, you know, they inspire me a lot somehow, especially when they have like a message. I don't know, the Marvel's movies, um, they bring me a sense of empowerment or a sense of, you know, energy that, oh, I'm gonna, I don't know, I years ago I started watching all the movies, all the series in a row, like the like step by step, you know. I got a list and then I started it. I am still on that list because it's a lot, you know, especially the series. But they always bring me something, I don't know, to think about or to feel. And yeah, especially when I go to the movies, I get that feeling after it.
I like so much animals. Animals, no, animation, maybe. I think it's easier to understand. It's special to children, but I like too much to watch an animation movie animation for the children. I like too much because have this opportunity to learn something with this and easier to understand. Sometimes the other movie, like you said, the Marvel. Oh my gosh, I only enjoy the moment for me because I didn't understand very well what the the sense the for me it's only enjoy the moment.
Yeah,
Cartoons, thank you.
cartoons, it's better. Yeah, animation, it's not wrong, but I guess any cartoons, it fits better. Um, very good, very good, very good. And about the first question that we have here, I guess it's a really nice one. Not just three pieces, but thinking about your children, the person you were and the person you are. What advice would you give to your children, to yourself, like when you were 10 years old, maybe? Like having a life and the experience you have now, what would you say to your children, to your inner self when you were a kid? Gabriel.
Sorry, Felipe. Can you repeat again, please?
Yeah. What advice would you give to yourself when you were a kid, when you were a child? Like you were 10 years, when you were 10 years old?
Nice. So there are many topics for talking about that, but I like the main topics when it is so important for my life, and I can say for the children's, but I don't have children's, but if I have in the future, I think
No, you were yourself in the past when you were.
for myself. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Imagine that you have 10 years old. You are a child. You are a kid. What
Okay.
advice would you give to yourself?
Um, in the past when I was child, uh, child, I think I would like the listening about the finance. It's so important for my life because I have been the bad habits in this topic in the many years, and if in my school I learned about the managing my finance very well, and the pen and my coaches. I think that it is really really important for my life can change in the before my my 30 years, between my 30 years and my 40 years, I am able for can be better for now.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. And you, Bruna?
Well, I think it depends for the moment that I live now. And maybe less in the other moment, I advise for myself that continue to study a lot, in special for the task to do in the to pace public service. And but in this moment that I study English and study other language, I advise for myself that study a lot the language, other many language. I think it's very important. In the past, I said once for my father that I want to be I don't know, aeromoça.
Mhm.
So in this moment, he said for me that it's necessary to know many languages. So it's very difficult. So I think it's afraid. It's put. Isso me deu medo. It had me
Did you scared?
fears. That's it. And I stopped and I don't want to learn study language, and it's nowadays I think it's difficult for change my mind, but I go ahead, and I will be success.
Yes. It's interesting that I don't know about everybody, but I feel that when we are kids, when we are children, we have the ability, the easier ability to learn things, right? It got me thinking about languages, about other skills as well. I wish I could have started to code when I was a kid, like starting to develop the logic, the algorithms to understand that. But I remember like in the 90s, it wasn't like on the hype as we have now. I guess that the children today, especially those who have the privilege to study in good schools, they are more aware of, languages, coding, things like that. Like how to deal with money. I see a lot of, children not playing, but talking about money, investments. I don't know what to say about that, but like they are kids, So yeah, one of the things I would love also to learn as a kid, how to deal with money, how to invest, and how to save money properly instead of learning by myself throughout the years. So, especially languages, if I could, like English, Spanish, French, Italian, all of them together, I don't know. And you, Pedro, which advice would you give yourself as a kid?
I agree with you all, and I think it's a mix of everything. That I think the most important is to be confident. I was not a shy person, but I think be confident and really do things. So not maintain occupied, but be focused on things that real matters. So I think when I was a kid, I was playing a lot. I was ringing around with people that I like, but I was not so focused on things that could improve my future. So, like you said, I could have used my time to learn English, to learn about investments, to learn about a lot of things, and it was nothing that I was enjoying to do in that moment. So In that moment, I was thinking in live my life, so enjoy the moment. But you need to enjoy the moment, but you need to know that the future will come someday. And when this comes, you will need to deal with it. So when you can prepare early, when this moment comes, you are already done and you're already prepared and already to that. So nowadays I'm studying English. We are studying, but we could start it early. So nowadays we could be totally okay. So nowadays we are start to study financial because in school we didn't learn nothing about investment and how to deal with money. So I think we could literally learn things that are very important to the future. So, and there are things that no one tell us when you're so young. And when someone tell us that, we say, oh, this is not so important. I can do that later. So I think we need to focus on things that are very important for the growth life.
Yeah, and this is the thing that gets me when I think about having children, you know, like to be a dad. I wish like my dad did everything he could, my mom as well. And my dad, he was really harsh on me, you know, he was like pushing me all the time, especially for this study thing to get into a college, a public college. I remember I like to play with this that when I was born, the first thing my dad told me it was, you're going to study in a public university. When I was in the hospital, like right after I was born. So he was really like pushing me all the time with homework activities, and because of that, I started English early. Like not yeah early. I was like 9, 10 years old, and um, yeah, and I think even studying earlier, I couldn't really understand that I could speak English, you know, because it took me like 15 years to realize that it was all about confidence, lack of confidence, you know? So I spoke English back there. Like when I was 11, I was like also already fluent, but it took me like a lot of years. Go ahead.
You said something, Phil, it's a good point. When I thought about my English, I started early. I think I was maybe 11 or 12, but I didn't realize the importance about it. I needed the maturity, maybe, to understand the importance for my life. Maybe the other advice that I did for me is I would do for me is that it do something and think about the importance, realize the importance in your life, because sometimes you start something and think, no, it's not so good for me, or you don't go ahead and do you want, but you don't invest your time, don't invest your time. And for this, I think it's very important, because when I think that I started early and não aproveitei, I didn't enjoy the opportunity that my parents offered for me.
Yeah, we were children, right?
Yeah, it's difficult, because sometimes I think I want the maturity that I have nowadays and the other time in my childhood, but it's impossible.
Yeah. If you do not have like your parents or someone close to you that you believe, that you trust, and it's more like we need to be children as well. We need to enjoy that period of time, right? it's difficult to have that maturity when you are like 10, 12, 15. So, and who, like we work, we have relationships, we have like our family. Whose advice do you follow more? Do you listen more carefully? Like someone you work with, a friend, your family, like, or your spouse? Who do you follow more, or do you listen more carefully? Pedro, can you go ahead?
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I would say that don't have a rule. So it's not something that I can say, oh, I follow more this type of persons and not that. Because I think in some specific way, people are different and have different thoughts. So there are moments that I say, oh, you are so smart, you are amazing people, but you are talking shit. So and there are moments that is totally the opposite, a people that is not so self-realized, that don't have this self-confidence, but there are moments that this person go there and say something that, oh, this is so brilliant. And so I would say that there's not a rule, is like when I can connect with the information. So depends, in the past, someone and who is talking, but when the phrase or the advice that they say, you say, oh, this is smart, this is a good thing to do, this is a good thing to say. So I go more about the message than the person. So no one specific, but topics in this specific, because I like to follow advice, but I like to think by myself. So I like to be myself. So, oh, I'm a self-help person and I will get you advice. If I don't like you, if I don't like your message, I will not follow you. So I will say that's more about connection with the message.
Really nice one. Yeah. More about the message, the learning, the thing around that, rather than the person.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I hear people, I don't know if you have ever happened to you all, but you know, when you are like on the streets or you're on the subway, supermarket, and then somehow someone just appears next to you and starts saying something, and then it gets you thinking, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's amazing when it happens. Gabriel, what about you? Who do you listen more carefully? Like people from work, your friends, your family, like your relationships?
In my case, I agree with as Pedro says, because in my behavior, my environment, it is sounds like there are a lot of people so smart and when able talking about smart things, smart situations, about our country or the new topics. But in my environment in working, my co-workers, my colleagues, my friends, my family, in my family, there are a lot of people in with when can able for have this characteristic and personality, so smart, and the others not, and but it's fine. But I have feelings so bad for the same situations, because these people's not see the how much potential for yourselves, for themselves, and it's bad because the people have a lot of potential, but it is these people not see that, and then they make judgments the other people's always, and it sounds bad for me. And then I like learning things for myself, and I don't like share with my environment in general. For my work, I like make my work only, and it's enough for me. In my family, I like to say good morning, hello, and are you fine? It's okay, it's fine.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. As Pedro said, it's not just about a person itself, but like the message or what you're listening to, or pay attention. Usually, yeah, I don't have like a specific person, and it depends on which situation. But nowadays, I listen very carefully to a person that can have a good view of the things I'm doing or the life I'm heading to. So it helps me a lot to clarify and to get me in the right direction. So it's been good to have someone to really help me out with that. But yeah, usually I like the past few years I've done that myself, just reading books, watching things on YouTube, or following like some gurus on internet and trying to match the ideas and the things. And you, Bruna, what do you follow more?
Well, I like what Pedro said, and you all. I think it's I don't have a specific person, no parents or friends, because I think you from someone who is where you would like to do. I think it's for example, I have a lot of friends, and for example, but about the investment subject, about investment, I have a specific friend that I want. I like to conversation because she studied a lot about this, and I receive and about any advice about this, and it's possible exchange experience. I think it's very interesting. And for example, the other subject about family, husband, children, I have the other friend. I receive the other advice, and but in special about the life, I receive many advice for my advice for my family, for my parents. I think in special my mother, because I have her with my me, or maybe.
Yeah, it's I think we have said already everything, right? And do you give a lot of advices? Are you the person who talks a lot to other people, like pointing out, oh, you should do this, you should do that, go this way, do not go that way?
In the past, yes, but nowadays, no. I nowadays only observe, and if you want some advice, for example, it's necessary you ask me a specific thing, because I think you have your life, and if you like to do a specific thing, okay, I only observe this. But for my sons, of course, I advise a lot.
And you, Pedro, you were like,
I think you touched on an important point. I think ad really need to be to have a reason to be done. So you don't go walking around and you need to do that. You could be that. You could, so like a person that know everything and need to be followed. So this is something that is important, I think, to give a ad. You need to have a reason to that. So first one is something that you love and you want that improve themselves. So you're giving it. There are people that give that because themselves can feel better, not because you want that the person that you are giving it will improve themselves. So it's like opinion. You don't go outside saying, you look like it, you need to do that. I think if the person asks, okay, you can do it. Or if you really want that person to improve themselves, you give some ads. So I think there are these two options to give an app: opinion and also advice. When someone asks you, and when you want that to be free and totally to help other person, not you.
Yeah, it's more like when you give advice, are you looking to your ego to satisfy your ego, or you're really willing to help or really to give advice, right?
It's like to be more do like I'm doing. So it's to ego, not, oh, you could do that. This is improve you. The person is talking more about themselves. Oh, I achieved that doing. So it's like you said, it's more about ego.
Yeah, it's to show off, right? And Pedro, do you believe we have a lot of that on social media, on internet, or no? It's not too much.
It's too much. So, and I don't know, but looks like people like it. I don't know why, but they make success and they're influencers because people follow them. So there are a lot of influence that I say that I saw and say, oh, he's talking only about himself. So he's not trying to make these followers better. He's only talking about her life. And why people are watching it? Why not try to improve yourself life? Why not try to achieve this point that this person specific achieved? But it's something that I really don't understand, because I will follow persons that will improve me. I will not follow persons that are only to follow and to see, oh, look, he's doing that. But what's the reason for that? So he's only showing his life. So I'm watching his life instead live my life. So it's totally this is the point. I want persons in my life that will improve myself and I also can improve. This will get a net to erase everyone together. So when you are having a relationship that only this person is benefited, this isn't a relationship.
Yeah, yeah, and it's interesting because yeah, I see a lot of influencers like showing off their life. Oh, I have like the car, the house, or the trip, and then people like they like that a lot. You know, it feels like, oh, person really wants to have that life or that lifestyle, and then yeah, I don't know. I was, you know, posting a couple of things on Instagram about my routine, especially waking up early in the morning, going to the gym, and every time I go there, I go walking, and I try to share a message. Sometimes I talk to myself: am I going to the ego, or am I going to the other side? You know, it's complicated because I don't know. Sharing a message, it depends also on how other people will receive that, how they will understand that, and sometimes it's hard, especially on social media. You have no control about who is going to watch you or not, so it's complicated. Gabriel, what about you? What are your thoughts on this matter, this discussion we are having?
Okay, I agree with Pedro again. So this topic is the interesting topic because sometimes the people see the new opportunities for improvements yourselves and themselves, and but in general the people don't like give help for it, and when I can see it, I can try, but nowadays I don't like make it too. I don't like the past and the talking about more advices for improving themselves. Otherwise, I like it. I like it, do it when the peoples come and pede
Are you asking?
asking, yeah, they asking for myself, and then I can try, but in general the people don't like it, or because don't want the people want not better, or the peoples have a lot of pride, you know. So
Yeah. The reward, the prize.
yeah, and then it just doesn't matter for me. My main focus is myself only, but my personality provides help the peoples in my environment. I like it and I do it, but I I can able for keep the balance for make it nowadays.
Yeah, it's always good to hear different people around the same topic, you know. Even when you agree or disagree, it's for me it's been good to listen carefully. What are your thoughts on some topics? And I would really love to read your thoughts on this 6 a.m. meeting and about this topic. I'm gonna finish this earlier because we have another meeting coming up for the basic course at 7 a.m. and I want just to finish it like minutes earlier. But the survey helps to guide where we are heading to. So just it takes like 5 seconds to tell if it was good or not, and if you want to add some comments or any advice, that's also the place. It's anonymous, so we are not going to know who did that, and I would appreciate a lot. And before we finish, the last advice before we leave, Bruna. Yeah, no, just you open the microphone. So no, it's your turn.
I open to say goodbye.
Just the last advice.
The last advice: enjoy your day and don't worry for nothing.
Great, good one. Pedro, no advice? No,
No advice, sorry.
no problem. And Gabriel, any advice before you leave?
Enjoy the day and make it your better.
Great.
This is a good one. Enjoy the journey.
Good. Yeah.
So hope everybody has a good week. Enjoy the day also, and take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great day.
See you all.
Bye-bye.
See